I walked into the worst date of my life and found out it was for a TV show. I knew the date was going to be bad the second I saw the restaurant name Ye Old Medieval Grill. The vibe was instantly wrong, like a Renaissance fair threw up indoors, but I had already committed and was desperate for a decent Saturday night. My date was named Chad. He was 20 minutes late and wearing a velvet shirt, which should have been my second and third red flags combined. He immediately launched into a detailed monologue about his amateur, competitive axe-throwing league, barely letting me get a word in about my actual job, which is literally managing rocket scientists. The setting didn't help matters. We were seated in a carved high-back throne booth with fake iron chains hanging awkwardly on the wall. The waiter, dressed as a very annoyed pageboy, brought Chad a neon green drink called the Dragon's Breath, which smelled suspiciously like lighter fluid and regret. I just ordered water and resigned myself to an hour of expensive suffering. Things escalated rapidly when Chad decided to show off his passion. He started miming an axe throw right there in the middle of the dining room, nearly elbowing a woman who was trying to enjoy her 80th birthday shepherd's pie. Then he loudly questioned the authenticity of the plastic goblets. I felt my face turning the exact shade of his Dragon's Breath cocktail. That's when I noticed the inconsistencies. The unfortunate pageboy waiter was constantly fiddling with an earpiece, and there was a guy sitting 3 tables over pretending to read a newspaper, but the lens on his glasses looked way too large. He kept subtly panning toward our table every time Chad did something dramatically obnoxious. Finally, Chad declared the entire meal unfit for a king and dramatically flung his pewter-look goblet across the table, where it clattered loudly against a suit of armor. That was the cue. The man with the newspaper suddenly stood up, followed by 3 people holding professional boom mics and cameras that seemed to materialize out of the fake stone wall. The man, now holding a clipboard, walked over, smiling far too brightly. Cut. That was gold, Chad. Thanks for delivering the goods, and thank you for being such a spectacular victim. He handed me a crisp $500 bill and a release form. I stared at the cash, my brain utterly rebooting. It turned out I had been unknowingly cast on a pilot for a prank show called Catfish Meets Candlelight, where intentionally awful dates are staged to see how long people tolerate the madness. I didn't find a boyfriend that night, but I did get paid $500 to suffer through competitive axe throwing talk, which honestly felt like a fair if bizarre hourly rate.